Let me put it at its most extreme. I know it sounds a little shocking, but hear me out, and let me try to think this through with you. The most humorous of all possibilities in the world, in life, is when life ends. Because you're talking here about a phenomenon that looks like total, hopeless, final disintegration and decomposition, and yet out of your range of vision begins an existence that makes this one pale into insignificance. Let me put it to you like this. A woman who's spiritually disposed can laugh at death. The reason is because she's been through that. Again, it's a woman who's been through, I'll put it to you like this. We have a work called the Gesher HaChaim. The Gesher HaChaim is a classic work on death and dying. It's probably the best known classic halachic work on mourning and the laws of death and so on. In the third volume of that work, he has a section dealing with the spiritual aspects. Not the halachic, but the spiritual. And he wants to convey the notion of standing at a graveside when somebody's being buried. And he wants to convey to you that through the pain, there should also be a vision of a new dimension opening. Incidentally, that's why it's forbidden to mourn excessively in Judaism. You may not mourn excessively. The reason being is a lack of faith. There's a tragedy here. It needs to be mourned, but there'll be a resurrection. One needs to know that in the morning there'll be a resurrection. In my own private life, the image that comes to mind in my personal life was when I moved to South Africa from Israel, my wife and I lost a pregnancy. It was a beautiful little baby boy that didn't survive. I personally had to do a circumcision on that dead child. That's a custom. That's what you do. You do a circumcision, you bury the child. In the agony of going through that process was also in my mind that we're doing this for a reason. The reason is he'll be part of the family one day. We talk about Chesed Mason. This is not a final end. So therefore, to mourn excessively means you haven't seen that dimension. And the Gesher HaChaim says when you stand at a grave, the image you should have in your mind is that beyond your range of vision, this person who's leaving you now is moving into a dimension that's vastly larger than this. I'll give you his analogy. And I see at least one pediatrician in the audience who will